quiet noise keeps getting stronger. The night is pitch black now, and all you see is gray. Keep out that way, you shouldn't stop now. The night is pitch black now, and there's no way to find the time. The quiet noise keeps getting stronger. The night is pitch black now, and all you see is gray. Keep out the way, you shouldn't stop now. The night is pitch black now, there's no way to know it all. Thought that we'd get this far without knowing whether what we've done is right. Who can judge us after all that we've been through? Hopefully this might speak to you somehow. There is no space beyond this, but I know that you are here. I know that you are here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in NGS tonight. Our first game for tonight on the Ghost Dunk channel is going to be Tass versus Darkwolf Memoriam. I'm going to change this guest host text right here because it is absolutely wrong. With me instead is TheGreatHari. Hari, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, man?
I'm doing awesome. I'm really excited to cast some fun games tonight. This looks to be a really good one here between Tass and Darkwolf Memoriam. Tass is a record of 1-0-1, so 1 win and 1 loss for them. And Darkwolf Memoriam, they played 1 game last week and they lost. So they're looking to take a win here and catch up with Tass. So we're going to see how they do here tonight. The first map of the night is going to be Battlefield of Eternity, and this is the pick of Darkwolf Memoriam. So hopefully they can start off strong here. I know I've heard of a couple of these players. Do you know either of these teams, Hari?
I do not know either of these teams. I've heard one, maybe both of them are pretty new to the league. So I'm really excited to see what they can pull off here today, since this is one of their first matches that I'm going to be watching, and really excited to cast.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited to see what they're going to go ahead and do in this match here. I'm hoping that they can impress us and put on a very good show for all the viewers out there. Looking at the map bans, Darkwolf Memoriam won the toss and they elected to ban Brax's Holdout. Tass banned Cursed Hollow, so we'll keep that in mind as we watch these bans. But I think we're just about ready to get into the game here. Do another check here. Gladiators are ready. Contestants are ready, and in we go to Battlefield of Eternity.
There it is.
Okay. I don't know what the delay here is on that, but Blizzard definitely well known for their ease of setting up games in this video game. So we're gonna see what the first ban is here, coming out from Tass though. I have to imagine, you know, we got the usual suspects up here right away. We're gonna see if that both teams are playing meta at the moment. But Uther banned out immediately, so Tass though immediately either going for an off ban or signaling that they are not going to be playing standard meta.
Both of these could very well be the case. That being said, some of those more meta bans have fallen off. That being said, again, Uther definitely not one of those standard bans, even by any regard. So,
yeah,
I'm curious to see whether they have a strat that revolves around the enemy team not having Uther, which would be kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, plenty of teams I've seen that say, hey, you know what I hate? I hate Divine Shield, and I just don't want to deal with it in this game. So the off ban says we're just going to ban Uther. So they're going to see the Maiev ban a little bit more standard here, being picked up. Maiev being very powerful in NGS. She has great stats across the board, across all different leagues. So a very smart ban here.
That leaves up some Phoenix, potentially. That leaves up some of the more meta tanks. Stukov is still on the table.
Yep.
Maybe with that Uther ban, they're going to look for more of a pick-oriented comp and pick up that Stukov to isolate somebody with that silence under their feet. We could very well be seeing that. Or just Phoenix, even though he's gotten nerfed, he's still really strong and definitely has his place, especially on this map.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the best, an ideal pick comp might be here on BOE. If it was an Infernal Shrines, I would suggest Kerrigan, or if it was like a Tomb of the Spider Queen, but I'm not sure what we see out here, but they're just going to go ahead and snap up that Phoenix quick.
There it is, Phoenix, the king of the meta himself. Even though he got nerfed, like I said, just absolutely a powerhouse across the board again.
You know what? Are they doing some kind of Planet Cracker cheese here?
We could very well see it.
Cheese and crackers. Oh man, that has to be the name of something, right?
That would be really cool. My team came up with a crazy combo with Phoenix a couple days ago of locking down people with the Entomb.
Yeah.
With Leoric and just throwing Planet Cracker through the middle of that.
Nice. Oh, that's really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, the Uther would definitely allow that for sure. Sanctification as well, so I'm surprised actually if they're going to try that, maybe not banning out the Tyrael, but maybe they've got some ideas of their own. Greymane, though, being picked up here. Darkwolf Memoriam going to be looking for the race here on the Greymane. Maybe Hanzo too?
Potentially. Hanzo's still being left up. They're going to take ETC here instead. I like the ETC pickup over another Shredder, just Greymane himself being one of those strongest Shredders on the map. If Hanzo goes over to the side of that Tass, they're definitely going to be looking at a lot of Shred.
Yeah.
But ETC also provides very solid lockdown for killing that Phoenix and being able to shut him down. So I do like the pickup to kind of deal with that Phoenix early.
Yeah, so they're going to grab the ETC, but the Garrosh could be coming next here out from the side of that Tass, though.
Garrosh also one of those very meta tanks, for sure.
Yeah,
and he plays a really good role here on this map. But no, it's going to be Diablo instead.
Very interesting. So Diablo is also a really good tank on here, but I suspect that I wonder if this is going to... They don't have Maiev, so they can't Warden's Cage, but this would definitely fit well with the Entomb combination here.
For sure. Definitely something we should be watching out for. And there's more lockdown, actually. We see Malfurion coming in with those roots as well, and potentially Twilight Dream. If they do find a way to keep them locked down in some kind of really small area, that could be absolutely devastating.
And I asked earlier, like, what the pick comp looks like on Battlefield of Eternity. Diablo Malfurion, a pick comp which is like basically as old as the video game here. It's sort of a classic Diablo. Charges somebody, overpowers into a Malfurion root, and that target is basically easily destroyable.
The old get off Milan combo. It's back again.
Yeah. So we're going to see what they ban out here. They don't really... they have to go for maybe an offlaner. Yeah, Medivh, a very smart pick here, just in case that Tass does have a Medivh player on their side.
Well, Medivh, I agree. Medivh is a very strong hero. I don't particularly see how it could have a place in Tass's comp here, just because they could be lacking a lot of that immortal damage that another hero like Hanzo would bring to the table. And I feel like if Darkwolf Memoriam had gone to ban out Shredder, but there's the Tyrael ban.
Yeah, I feel like they got something planned here. Medivh, of course, though, I do... You're right in that he does make it so you don't have a race comp, and you can't really do that. However, it feels like they've already committed to being a pick comp on this map. And really, this map is about, are we going to race? Are we going to pick? Are we going to do some... Are we going to poke? What's your strategy involving the Immortal? And a viable strategy on this map, which I think makes it a great map, is that you can go for picks. And Medivh with Diablo is very scary. You suddenly teleport everybody in there. Malfurion throws down a Twilight Dream, throws down some Roots. Diablo pushes people around. Medivh puts a Force of Will onto basically everybody, and the Arcane Explosion talent on his shield just ruins your whole day. That could be...
I guess that brings up a really good point. He does also have Leyline and Seal for setting up those combos, and I totally didn't think about that. Absolutely right there. But we're about to see, with Tyrael and Uther being banned out, if they're just going to continue to look at their standard comp, it looks like they're just going to go for what they want here on the side of Darkwolf and Memoriam, just going for the race of that Li Ming and the Greymane.
Yeah.
Having Stukov also could be a very good dive to current.
Oh, totally. Hanzo's still on the table, though. I feels like they don't really care so much about, are they holding something special here in this last one? But,
oh, boy.
Yeah, it looks like they don't really care about dominating the race. They're going to opt for a little bit more, I think, a little bit more DPS and a little bit more blow up and burst by picking Li Ming instead of the Hanzo here. Hanzo is available to the side of... see Tass, though. I'm not sure if they want to go for that, or if they want to go for something else, but yeah.
They could very well use that Dragon's Era to set up this combo that they're looking for, though.
That's very true. And, Diablo Phoenix into Leap certainly is a thing.
I think we saw that a similar comp like this last week from Division A with...
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now,
interesting.
What is interesting to me is that this composition here, you pick up the Tyrande, but Sonya is no slouch in the race department for sure. I think Phoenix is definitely, with that repeater cannon, is going to do a decent amount of damage to that. Actually, I have not looked at the DPS on Phoenix. I ran some math today, actually. Greymane and Li Ming have definitely one of the highest DPS on that Immortal. However, Hanzo with a full W build is going to out DPSs them by more than double. So he's worth more than a Greymane plus a Li Ming on the Immortal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very surprising at that point to see Hanzo just completely left alone then. But this double support, double tank comp coming out from Tass, though, with a Phoenix in the back line.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Wombo heroes on the side of Tass, though. I don't really see if they have a Wombo combo, though, unless all of those ults come and click exactly correctly.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. They're gonna have to wait for a bunch. They're gonna have to wait, make sure the leap lands if they are going leap. They're gonna have to make sure the APOC lands and then Planet Cracker. So, that's easily followed up by a Twilight Dream and a Starfall from Tyrande. However, I do wonder if they're just looking to pick people off. Tyrande, Malfurion, Diablo is, like I said, that's a classic trio right there. You could replace the Malf with a Kerrigan or something, and you'd have a 2016 era Heroes of the Storm composition right here. So maybe they're just sticking with some basics here, looking to rotate those three around and just get some picks while Sonya and Phoenix get the job done.
It's very true. Just the base kits of these heroes are very strong in the early game. But we also can't underestimate the race and the poke that we see from the side of Greymane and Li Ming here on Darkwolf, just because it could be very easy for Darkwolf to force Tass onto the defense and poke at it a little bit and have that Dahaka in the off lane just side soaking and getting value elsewhere. But
yeah, it looks like Darkwolf's entire comp is built around running away. They're looking to poke, they're looking to get on the Immortal. The second that Tass though comes back onto defense, they're like, okay, we're leaving. Dahaka's going to go soak and global back in later, and we're denying you guys the fight.
Very, very true. ETC definitely provides good peel for that strategy as well.
Yeah.
Along with the Stukov, the slows, the stuns. That lockdown looks really solid from them.
I agree. Now, looking at here, we're going to get into the game. Excuse me, let me get going. Let's get some hype moving here. We've got Tass, though, on the side of heaven. We've got Kurt Dog playing the Phoenix, Trevorrow on the Malfurion, and Hemo Santiago on the Diablo. Veranov on the Tyrande, and Sonya rounding it out in the top lane with Keesby Knight playing that hero.
On the side of Darkwolf, we have ETC being played by Cole, Girl Guns playing the Grey Mane, Arrhenius playing the Li Ming, Tyransen playing the Dahaka, and last but not least, Ouija06 on that Stukov.
Okay, we're gonna see the classic BOE split up right here. Excuse me. ETC just looking for a little bit of face on. Phoenix chases him away, and Kurtdog not afraid to step up on it here. Looking at the talents here, we're going to see advanced targeting. Excuse me. Being picked up. That seems to be popular. Ooh, Girl Gun's taking a ton of damage. ETC has to come in and peel, but the root is going to confirm the kill onto the Grey Mane.
That Li Ming reset also getting a lot of damage onto Phoenix, him dropping really low.
Yeah, Li Ming got a counter orb there onto the Phoenix, but it's not enough. Kurtdog's going to go ahead and get back way up to full and on his shields. He did have to tap, though, Kurtdog, but they're stepping way up into this thing. Diablo finds a stun out of the wall, but Diablo himself is taking a ton of damage out in front here. Hemo Santiago getting very low, down to 139 health. Verino blocks the orb from hitting Hemo Santiago, and they're going to walk out just fine.
Already some crazy action coming in here from the bot lane. Just all sorts of skirmishing and fighting over control.
Yeah, and already we see the CC with the Tyrande blow-up. I think people forget what a good tool Hunter's Mark was. And, you know, I mean, it's not really seen in professional play anymore, but it's still deadly.
I mean, that 25% damage increase could very well be the difference between one person living, one person getting away with a sliver of HP left, and using it to lock down kills, especially with this Diablo just going really, really deep here. Oh, that body blocking the Tyrande stun was absolutely beautiful, and Stukov is going to fall for it.
Oh, that Tass, though, they picked this comp. They know what they're doing. This looks like a very well-practiced composition from these guys. Hemo Santiago doing an excellent job in the Diablo so far.
Definitely on the side of Darkwolf, they're going to have to be very, very careful of some of these chokes up here. Especially when you come into the Immortal phase around the Bruiser camps. Those chokes can be very deadly for this composition as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at... Ooh, Girl Guns gets... Like, Girl Guns steps right up, and Grey Mane is not afraid of Diablo, though he, well, should be. Cole gets caught in a Malfurion root, and Cole's not going to be able to walk away from this either. That's 4 kills to 0 in favor of Dat Tass, though.
Very dominant, very aggressive Diablo playing here coming out from Santiago, getting those flips and making sure the follow-up is there from the two supports is crazy, and they've been doing that really well.
Yeah, looking at the top lane here, really sort of a nothing lane. No one really, did any better up here, but we're going to have Keysby Knight starting immediately on this Immortal on Sonya, and looking at Darkwolf Memoriam, they're going to have to figure out how to punish this Diablo, and also figure out how to respect his range.
That's very true, and this 4-1 split they have here, very much mirroring what they played in the bot lane. Stukov getting caught out a little bit here, though. He's going in, he's getting really low. And Hemo Santiago is so low he could fall here, but it looks like he might just get away, maybe.
Greymate steps into the Immortal Stone, looking for the kill of Diablo. The 1v1, they both go down. The Li-Ming, but Diablo gets hit by the Li-Ming damage, and that's going to be 2 kills for 1 in favor of that Tass, though, but it could be for 3 as Phoenix going into Haka tries to find something, tries to pull him towards the base, but Tyransen is not going to find a kill on the Kurtdog.
Yeah, that Phoenix auto attack damage is definitely not something to laugh about. It's crazy effective, and we're seeing here Sonya was working on that Immortal the entire time and still is, and we're going to see it here.
Yeah, and Phoenix going for Warp Conduit, which makes him deadly. It's going to give him a little bit of a reset to chase people down if they do manage to get a kill onto the Phoenix. And they're going to go ahead and win the Immortal here with about half health on here. And it's 7-5 here. They've got 7 talents, and they're going to be pushing with this Immortal. They, in fact, start this camp going as well to maybe push bottom as well. So they're going to force them to deal with that Tyrande gilling up, and the Immortal starts pushing onto this wall.
On the flip side, we have the Dahaka soaking bot lane, and Sonya looks like she's going to come down and contest him. Dahaka falling really low, being forced to pop that burrow in. Looks like his essence, too. But up in here in the top lane, that Immortal is still going strong. It's already gotten the tower.
Yeah, that's gonna make Swiss cheese of this wall. Halo Santiago goes way in looking for a kill. The Sharana Stone comes out and finds them when his Girl Guns goes down. Hemo Santiago overpower, putting Greymane into danger and gets taken out. Meanwhile, Air Knight's doing a really good job poking onto this Phoenix, just finding these squishy targets, but it's not going to be enough to deter them off of this fort.
That Immortal is still going strong. Oh, and Cole gets charged into the wall, and he's going to die for it.
Yeah, Diablo finds an excellent angle on the ETC. Tukov trying to juke and jive. I don't think he's going to be getting out of here. He does. He just barely goes through. One more laser would have done it, but Ouija making out bravely steps way the heck up there after he taps to try and get a silence on the rest of the team. But that's going to be an easy fort for Tass though, and they are just an inch away from 10. Darkwolf Memoriam, I kept wanting to call him Grammy. Darkwolf Memoriam is looking in trouble here.
Yep. That Bruiser camp in the bot lane too, Sandy's been working with that this entire time as well and got the wall down there, just further advancing that XP lead, forcing Darkwolf to play really, really safely here. Yeah,
and looking at the XP though, both all in hero kills, minions, and structures. So in soak and structures and kills, Tass though is leading, so that's making it that much harder. Oh, Arenize gets caught up trying to throw a orb in, gets the teleport, but it's not going to be enough. The overpower puts her too far away from the wall to make it to safety, and Arenize.
Indeed, that spear was on point there. Right after the blink, she gets speared, and she falls for it.
Yeah, giving props up to the other team. That's what I like to see here in NGS. They're going to go ahead and make an easy steal on here. ETC way out in front here. Cole having to power side out the stun is going to miss. This roots go down. I think Cole's going to be able to get out. Yeah, in addition to an orb from Li Ming, Cole is going to be able to back off. But Kurtdog, that Q is doing a good job poking there. But speaking of poke, Kurtdog taking a ton of damage here at the moment. Kurtdog doesn't really care. ETC maybe trying to find the kill here. They're trying to make it desperate. You should move here at 10. The Heroic comes out. The Twilight Dream finishes the two people trying to get in and make something happen. Down 10 talents. Girl Guns is going to use Eyes in the Dark to make it out, but Diablo finds him, comes in, ult, and that's going to get 2 more kills. That's going to be 4 for nothing down level 10 talents.
There goes Dahaka as well.
Full team wipe, and this has got to be a keep. Whew.
7 minutes in, 7.5 minutes in, we have Community Knight still working on the Immortal. 4 members trying to take down this keep, and it looks like they're going to get it. Respawn's finally coming in here, but 4 levels down inside of Darkwolf Memoriam here.
That's rough. Darkwolf Memoriam, I understand the impulse to like make something happen. They see somebody gets a little bit low, maybe makes a mistake, tries to capitalize on it, but it's a very risky play, and the risk of doing so is exactly what you see here. No keep at 8 minutes, and still a full level to go before they even have heroics.
Yep. And both of those lanes being incredibly pushed out for that task, though, as well, means they can focus all their effort onto the Immortals. They don't have to deal with anything. Oh, there comes the leap. There's the leap into the scanner sweep, and it looks like the Wombo is real.
Yeah, Li Ming goes down from the target acquired, which is what I'm going to call it because I don't know the real name. But the ETC is not able to get out through the massive bodies, and
Diablo over the wall.
Girl Guns tries to help.
2 more.
Greymane tries to help and punish the Diablo, who goes over the wall but ends up dying himself. Kurtdog just getting those spells right over the wall, no problem. And that's going to be another 3 men down, and Dark Moon, excuse me, I knew I was going to do it. Darkwolf Memoriam is looking pretty rough right now. And the good news for them is the full shield immortal does have to go through a fort, but 13-9. It's going to be a while before they can get the XP here. And this is exactly what Tass, though, needed was, Diablo, Malfurion, Tyrande. It's a pick comp. You want to get a lead early, and by golly, they sure did.
They definitely did get that lead, and they have been fighting pick after fight. It looks like they're going in here again.
Ooh,
A-Bot coming down, that's going to hit 2 members.
Oh.
Those 2 members are going to evaporate.
Yeah, the Li Ming orbs are just not enough. Everybody heals right through it. Really, the only source of damage coming through. Greymane died before able to get anything off. Stukov caught out in the middle of that, and they're just running it down. They're just running at Darkwolf, and there's nothing they can do. Himo Santiago pushes in, and they're trying to desperately defend this. Luckily, no more kills to them. Dihako desperately trying to soak, just hoping that the game doesn't end on this push and that this soak will not be in vain. Starfall zones everybody out. ETC caught way out in front. Cole might not be able to make it out alive. There's the scanner, and it's going to get him. Ouija.
It looks like it's going to get Stukov, too.
Yeah, and this probably game.
It looks like it. The Immortal's still having full HP.
Yeah, everybody's got full mana.
Dropping down low as well.
Leeming really the only hope for survival there. And a quick game 1 going over to that Tass, though. Whew.
Indeed the case. They definitely knew what they were looking for in the form of that pick comp with the Malfurion Diablo, and they found it, and they were able to really lock down exactly what they were going for with that game 1.
Yeah, that's just a textbook sort of, a snowball here coming out from that Tass, though. We're going to show you the scores, just like a real HGC broadcast. But looking at the next maps, it looks like we are going to Cursed Hollow next. And this is the map pick of that Tass, though. This was the map pick for Darkwolf Memoriam. Let's see if they can bring it back and get a get some work done on their opponent's map this and sort of flip the script here. And actually looking at these stats, no lack of damage, I think, on the side of Darkwolf Memoriam. It's just, it was all spread out. And, that Tass, though, got picks and Darkwolf didn't.
It seemed like the coordination they were looking for with that Diablo was really what set them ahead in the early game, which is what you're looking for with that kind of a pick comp like you mentioned earlier. But that coordination coming out from Tyrande and Malfurion and Diablo, setting up those picks, having the follow-up roots right when the Diablo wanted to go in, having the Tyrande stun. There was one play I wanted to highlight from early in the game. That was when Diablo went and charged one of their members up in the bot lane, up above the lane a little bit in that vertical vent over there. Flipped him and body blocked him into the Tyrande stun, and that was able to orchestrate 2 of those early kills there on the side of that Tass, though, and it's just proof that they really trust each other. They're willing to follow up their tank. Himo Santiago playing a crazy Diablo there.
Yeah, I mean, that could well warrant out a Diablo pick or ban here from Darkwolf Memoriam.
Absolutely.
Sorry, we're going to get people into this game here. I wonder if they are also going to maybe try and pick up the Phoenix themselves. I'm very interested to see what Darkwolf Memoriam's strategy is on this. And I also wonder if we're going to see that Tass, though, just stick with what they know.
That Tass, though, it seems like they're at risk now of just being banned off a couple of those picks right from the very get-go. That Diablo in particular standing out to me from that regard.
Yeah.
But we don't know. It could be a complete turnaround for both of these teams, or that Tass, though, definitely seems like they'd be okay with sticking with what they know.
I don't expect a Kerrigan. I don't expect a Tyrande here. Maybe if they want to do the similar kind of pick thing, they could go for Kerrigan, but this is such a huge map. You have I'm not sure what they are going to do here. I wonder if they may try to go for the Maiev, who I think has a similar early game presence to what they were doing.
That does bring up the issue. If Darkwolf does decide to respect ban one of those heroes that Tass played last game, they do leave that Maiev up that they had banned first last game, and that could potentially provide really, really solid utility here on the side of Tass, though, especially with the comp they played last game, if they decide to play something similar to that.
Yeah, and the Uther Tyrande ban really makes a lot of sense. They were really looking to just blow people up as soon as possible, just stun lock them, get them down, and any kind of sanctification or divine shield definitely shuts that down for certain. So very smart drafting on the side of Dat Tass, though.
Absolutely. Also, the early Phoenix, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm not to say that the Darkwolf had a bad draft. I really liked their draft. It's that they were unable to execute it because they got so far behind and got snowballed on.
I definitely agree with that. The Darkwolf draft definitely did seem very solid to me, and I really like the Li Ming and the Greymane pickup on that map. Race being the strategy that me and my team prefer, specifically, being able to go for that race and basically just use the objective to carry us through the game is a very strong tool to have.
Yeah, I mean, the Immortal can really act as a 6th player. I think on a lot of the Diablo maps, the objective can act as, like, the Punisher or the Immortal is basically like, hey, here's another teammate here, and if you want to fight on the Immortal where we are, we're just gonna, back off, and we don't have to do it.
Yep. Definitely in the case of the Immortal, using those Immortal stuns around the spawn points, wherever you have to fight over that Immortal to acquire it as yours. You definitely can use that Immortal if you're playing defensively as pretty much your friend, as like a 6th member of your team almost, just allowing the Immortal to set up stuns for you or potentially pull them into the stuns for an additional bit of lockdown.
Yeah.
It's very potent.
Oh, yeah. And, like, Li Ming throws out, orbs. It's what I like about Darkwolf's composition was that you could defend and race with it. You could send Greymane back, and Li Ming could sit there and poke while ETC zoned out and says, okay, you want to, you've got poor race, you want to race, you got to sit here and do it on top of the Immortal, and they have to run at you to do it. But unfortunately, they ran a little faster than they were anticipating.
One of the cool things I like about Li Ming on Battlefield of Eternity is the ability she has to not only put damage on the Immortal, but also be able to put damage on the enemy team at a pretty similar rate. Those magic missiles being off cooldown every 3 seconds, you can kind of stagger where you want them to hit. So if you do see the option to go in for a team fight, and if you find that team fight, you can definitely take advantage of that and use Li Ming to grab a reset, and then use that reset potential just put more damage on the Immortal. It kind of just cuts both ways at the same time, which I think is really efficient use of the hero.
Oh, I agree. And I actually really like the Li Ming pick. Not only was good for them, but it was also a deny pick, because if that Tass, though, is going for a blow-up comp, Li Ming on there makes it even harder, because once you get that blow-up, you get a reset, and Li Ming is just ruthless at that point.
Even more snowball potential there for each fight.
Yeah. So we're waiting for a player to get in. It looks like we're having a little bit of a technical issue here. This is, I think, a slightly more macro-oriented map here, and I wonder if we are going to see Darkwolf Memoriam thrive a little bit more on this map than the last one.
I think it seems like, given how they were playing last time, picking up that Dahaka on even a 2-lane map, it seems like this is the kind of environment where they would want, where they can make more macro-oriented decisions, like whether or not they want to keep that Dahaka up in the top lane to soak, or away from the tribute, or how they want to poke at the tribute, things like that. It just seems like one of those maps where potentially Darkwolf Memoriam can get a little bit more value out of that macro game, like you mentioned.
Yeah. Okay, here. I'm very interested to see how the PTR, though, is going to affect the meta at the moment. Deckard Cain, man. Talking about, like, zoning value, like, can you imagine Deckard Cain on that map just there, along with the Tyrande, Diablo, Malfurion? Or not with Malfurion, but, like, he would act like a Malfurion there, but even, like,
potentially even more potent. Yeah.
Diablo blocks him into the Tyrande stun. Oh, the Scroll of Sealing is done, and anyone you sent to peel for that person is now rooted as well.
That seems just absurdly broken to me, the way that his abilities are set up right there.
Have you gotten to play the the Deckard Cain?
I have not gotten to play on the PTR yet, but based on what I'm hearing from other people, it's disgusting.
It is a lot of fun, but we are ready. Teams are ready to go here. We're gonna go right into Cursed Hollow. That's what I said. The Ravenlord welcomes us to his court, as we're gonna see Darkwolf Memoriam banning first.
I actually find that really funny to see that. While we kind of just in between maps decided that this might potentially favor Darkwolf's playstyle better, that it was actually the side of Tass that picked this map here. So potentially we could see them come up with a completely different comp for that ideal.
Yeah.
They're looking forward to potentially play a more macro-oriented game from their side too, instead of that pick-oriented comp they picked last time.
Yeah, I mean, if I think it's maybe psychologically better because Darkwolf, if they're worried about getting snowballed, this is a much harder map to snowball on compared to Battlefield of Eternity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so much room around the map to do different things where you don't particularly need to engage the enemy.
Yeah.
But it really depends. We see Maiev getting banned here again from the side of Darkwolf Memoriam. They just really don't want to deal with that hero, it seems like, and
Yeah.
that's very much respectable given how absurdly OP she is at the moment.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they don't want to grab her, considering that she could be probably pretty good into a lot of what they're doing if they want to go Maiev and Diablo, take the Diablo away from them, because, I mean, that was a killer Diablo coming out from the side of Tass. But we're going to see what they do here first. I imagine they have some kind of plan here for themselves. Maybe the Medivh. I don't know who is on Darkwolf Memoriam and who their players are.
That's very true. Hero pool restrictions definitely are a thing, and Medivh is your team definitely has to know how to play around him, and you have to know how to play the hero well. And that coordination is pretty essential to making Medivh work.
Right.
So if they do have practice in that and they are willing to pull it out, I think it would be a crazy powerful asset for them.
Yeah, it definitely would. But we're going to see what they do here. They're thinking about it here, probably using the time to talk about the rest of their composition. Yeah, and that Diablo immediately snapped up here. That is a respect pick, if such a thing exists.
That is for sure. If you don't want the other team to take it and you don't have bans for it, just take it yourself. Mm-hmm. That's always the answer.
Yeah, I do like that. Stukov and Thrall immediately taken down. So Thrall threatening very similar things with the Earthquake on his side. So, and Thrall being very... is it EU that's really on the Thrall kick right now in HGC?
It is. EU's definitely favoring that Thrall right now. Even though Crash Lightning got nerfed, people are taking Echo of the Elements now, mm-hmm. and having that extra charge on the Lightning, it's just, you're basically arranged with auto attacks that hit like a truck.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, before, like, everyone's taking Crash Lightning, I was actually playing a whole bunch of Echo the Elements, and man, you still do a lot of damage with that extra Q and follow through. That's just another big chunk of damage, and if you get your full combo onto somebody with all your follow through procs, you can chunk a lot of heroes down to like a quarter health.
Absolutely, Thrall does a lot of damage. We do see the Abathur coming out here from the side of Darkwolf Memoriam, definitely favoring that macro play that we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm. And also with Jaina, this is a sort of a classic combo here. Abathur, Jaina clone, always very good because they're Frostbite procs each other, so you get your either the clone or the real Jaina gets their spell down, the other one will get the bonus damage from it. So already a built-in synergy there. Jaina with the Diablo APOC, if they have some kind of setup for APOC, Jaina can follow that up with a ring, and it's part of a very good combo. But although I do see a lot of Water Elemental from people.
We have been seeing a lot of Water Elemental recently, but the APOC ring combo, definitely one of those classics that we talked about last game, classic combos with the Diablo Malfurion.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Malfurion's still being left up on the table for that entire combo. Those roots could be absolutely devastating again, like they were last game.
Yeah, it looks like they think they want to... No, they don't want to take Malfurion. I'm surprised they left him up.
Lucio being banned instead. I guess Lucio does deny some of that mobility around the map. It kind of... Lucio's mobility, obviously, for himself and for his teammates, could definitely allow Diablo and Jaina to find a couple extra picks in the early game with Abathur temporarily duo soaking.
Yeah.
So that they can find and snowball. Kind of like Tass did in the last game, just with a more macro-oriented approach to the same idea, taking up that Abathur.
Yeah. Lucio, though, definitely an off-meta ban for sure at the moment.
definitely an off-meta ban, especially with Malfurion still up on the table. But potentially Malfurion, the ban wasn't warranted because of the nerfs. Although I still think he's a very strong tool. Falstad being banned out on the other side, taking away that big disengage potential and boss control.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason they used up the time there saying, we would like to take off a global off them, and they said they're probably not going to pick Dahaka at this point. But Johanna Chromie immediately snapped up here. I do like that. Johanna, an excellent tank in here. Good, I think, into something like the Jaina Diablo, where she's going to have a lot of her own escape with Iron Skin, and it combos well with the Chromie. Joanna pulls everybody in. Chromie can easily follow up if they are on point, and we've already seen that Tass, though, has a lot of really strong communication.
That is for sure. I'm really excited to see how that could work out, especially with the Thrall route. The Thrall route into the Johanna Condemn, or vice versa, into a Chromie combo could just mean the death of anyone on the side of Darkwolf.
Yeah. For certain, and yeah, I mean, even the Earthquake, though, just makes people nice and easy targets for a Chromie.
Absolutely. We have 10 seconds left to see what this last pick is going to end up being. These last two picks here for the side of Darkwolf. Potentially, you could see more of that wombo combo route. Oh, but we don't. It's a Tracer and a
Tracer
Malfurion.
Mouth. So that is a very squishy team on the side of Darkwolf Memoriam, and I do worry. I think they definitely go Earthquake at this point, and it's going to be up to Darkwolf to eliminate the other team before they can get anything done.
Absolutely. That being said, the Tracer is going to be really difficult to hit with those Chromie combos with the Thrall roots. Whoa, that's wow! I did not see that coming.
Why? Is this about the wombo? Is this all about the Gravo Bomb?
Oh my god!
That test, they love their wombos, and a Johanna into a Gravo Bomb into Chromie Thrall damage is disgusting. Into a Stukov silence, for that matter.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm mildly confused and really, really excited to see how they pull this one off.
I know. The only problem is that you have a Caslo on your team. That's really the only downside I can see to this composition.
I mean, you have a really strong 4-man, and then you have Gazlo.
Yeah, which, I mean, I have to imagine it's just going to be sitting there pushing all day. And into an Abathur, it's not a bad thing, because the only problem is, like, with a Mouth, with a Tracer, Gazlo, I think, is definitely susceptible to being picked off with an Abathur hat, for that matter. Like, set up Turret City all you want. Mouth is just going to throw on some heals. Tracer's going to go in and do some quick damage with the Abba hat. Recall out. Gazlo's dead. Tracer's fine.
That being said, like, against the Abathur, I think because of picking up that Gazlo, who needs time to set up around that tribute area, Chromie, who's really looking for ranged poke more than she is hard engage, I think we're going to see a lot more XP going to the side of Darkwolf with that Abathur on their team.
All right. Well, I've heard that somebody has ordered a one-man wrecking crew, and that is Tass, though. Over here in the blue, we've got Keysby Knight on the Thrall, Hemo Santiago on the Johanna, Veranov on the Chromie, Trevaro on the Stukov, and Kurt Dog on the Gazlo Dog.
But Darkwolf has responded with an Abathur of their own. Taransin playing the Abathur, Cole playing the Diablo, Arnius playing the Tracer, Grogun's playing the Jaina, and Ouija06 on the Malfurion.
Okay, we're going to see Abba set up top lane, and the 4-man's going to go over here. Meanwhile, Gazlo's going to start bottom lane. Tracer's going to go ahead and grab the eye here. And Jaina, I think, maybe looking to get some damage done. Kurt Dog set up very aggressively in this bottom lane with turrets. I don't know if Girl Guns has vision. Definitely has vision now, as Gazlo appears setting up, knows just where to put how to time those bombs. So Kurt Dog, an experienced Gazlo user, and I use that in the same kind of tone of voice as I would a drug user, but they're going to go ahead and start fighting bottom. Tracer's going to go ahead and clean up here mid, and we've got all sorts of crazy laning going on. Keysby Knight maybe looking here on Cole. I don't know if that gave Cole vision, but Keysby's going to throw down a root. The Chromie damage on Cole as Cole tries to get out. tries to throw it on the sides, but Cole's going to get out just fine. The 3-man does not result in a gank onto Diablo. We have, look at these crazy amount of mines up here going in. Keesby going for the Echo of the Elements, so he is going to be soloing. So they do have two, excuse me, like quote, real solo laners, which I suppose Gazlo is.
I guess you can qualify Gazlo as a solo lane. If you qualify Gazlo as anything more than a minion,
yeah,
definitely. But that Abathur hat with Diablo chunking down that Thrall,
yeah,
half health. And if we do see a flip onto those Abathur mines here, that could potentially just spell the end of Keesby Knight up here in this top lane.
Yeah, fortunately, Thrall has a lot of self-sustain here, so he's going to be able to heal back. He actually went and opted to tap. I actually would have said, like, hey, let's see how much my Frostwolf Resilient stacks give me here on Keesby. Throws down the root, does not hit the Diablo. Meanwhile, Jaina against his Gazlo. Jaina was doing a good job, but Girlguns is out of mana already.
Girlgun's definitely having it rough down there in that lane against the Gazlo.
Already used her tap.
Having to check every bush, everything. Meanwhile, we do see Tracer coming in here for the roam, but she's going to be spotted out by a Gazlo turret.
Yeah, Gazlo doing a good job. Arenice packing up her bags and moving up to Johanna. Chromie and Stukov starting this camp. They do get a good amount of macro pressure. No camp set to be taken on the side of Darkwolf.
The camp's definitely providing good pressure. It looks like there are already 4 people down here trying to set up for this.
Oh, the root almost gets
and she does die to the Chromie.
Headshot.
That Q over the wall.
Oh, the silence just enough chip damage onto Jane to give the Chromie the finishing blow there. Almost caught Gazlo into that root and in the bomb. It looks like we saw a vision of things to come with Johanna trying to pull people onto the Gazlo bomb.
But at the same time, we see very minimal XP here.
Oh, this
going
is
over to the side of.
Yeah. But they do
Gazlo dropping so low in the bot lane.
Ooh, Tracer Arenice almost picking up the kill there onto Kurt Dog. Looking at the Gazlo build, it is 100% a Wombo build. He's going for the extra TNT and the arc reactor, meaning they just want to set up with those bombs.
They set up a bomb, they drop Gravo bomb. Guess what? It's just another bomb.
Yeah, exactly. I have to imagine that with the stuns, Arenice looking really rough there with the Chromie damage.
That Chromie shot too.
Yeah, tries to harass the Johanna, but the rest of her team is there. She's got friends, and Tracer goes down.
Meanwhile, after having back, we do see Girlguns being in okay position here in this bottom lane. Against the Gazlo.
Yeah, they're losing a lot of structure damage here, and let me check out the XP totals here. They are keeping up even soak, which is good for Darkwolf. That means that the structure damage XP is basically XP money in the bank, and they're not going to fall behind because of missing out on soak. However, with an Abathur, you want to see that number, I think, actually higher than your opponent's. Diablo in trouble here as 4 members rotate onto him. Does he have a Q out? He does not. He walks. Oh, the time trap negates all of the Chromie damage, and Cole gets out scot-free. Oh, and meanwhile, Stukov, Arenice finds Stukov in the back. Arenice looking for more. Gets a pulse bomb down onto Johanna. Nothing doing. Ouija taking a bunch of damage here, but they seem fine.
The Diablo flip fighting Keesby Knight. Keesby Knight getting shoved back over the wall. Lucky he doesn't have a root there to follow it up. Yeah,
Keesby Knight ran a little faster than Cole was expecting, and the Q throws him into a bad place. Arenice seeing the Chromie damage coming out, doing an excellent recall to avoid it. Trying to find the finish onto Keesby Knight, has to E out and speed away. They're setting up here, trying to zone out to get this Malfurion shows up. Meanwhile, Gazlo is just doing Gazlo things bottom. A full level lead, however, going over to the side of that Tass, though, I think mostly because of the Gazlo push down here, and they're having a rough time. They're taking advantage of the Abathur being away, and they're ending up on the positive side. Oh, and they get another kill onto the Stukov again in the back. Keesby not looking trouble. However, Ouija taking the Chromie damage, throwing it on, and this is absolutely insane. I cannot believe this team fight. This is absolute chaos, and Cole finds Thrall in the bush there. Thrall thought he could walk up and challenge them on. I didn't have a place to stop here. This is insane.
Meanwhile, and then Gazlo in bot lane.
3-4.
Gazlo doing Gazlo things, and Chromie's still trying to poke. Oh, he's going so deep for that kill onto the Chromie, but he does not find it.
Oh,
Oh, the Abathur!
Abathur hat!
The Abathur hat with the shot over the wall.
Woo-hoo.
Wow.
Man,
That is crazy.
That's an insane kill. They do get 4 kills to 3. They are going to be a full level behind, but I do think that they're feeling good about the rest of their chances this game, however.
Absolutely. Abathur comps do tend to fall behind a little bit in the early game, just due to the fact that Abathur gets less value pushing up to soak when there are members in all 3 of the lanes from the opposing side. But as this team fight phase kind of pushes up and evolves a little bit more as we approach these level 10s and 13 marks, I think this is where the Darkwolf with that Abathur will start to take a little bit more of an advantage. We see 4 members here, actually all 5 looking for that Wombo. Bravo Bomb was picked up for the Gaslow.
Yep, and that, that's an excellent boss control tool, actually. Like, you want to sit in there? Okay, and you will simply walk right into my wombos. So we're going to see how well it works. The next tribute comes up. It's not even Curse Point. I feel like the 10s, however, are up, and I do think Darkwolf wants to start fighting as soon as possible. However, we have Tass, though, getting an early setup here in the onto the tribute.
We're potentially going to see Diablo come rotating through here and get caught out by Keys Knight sitting over there.
Oh, he is careful of those bushes. Cole steering well clear of those bushes. He is sure must contain some kind of enemy. Cole is going to just tentatively step up here, see what happens. Does find the rest of the team, pushes Hemo Santiago away. The chroming damage is not there. However, the Thumb Earthquake goes down, but the Ring of Frost
Twilight Dream. That Twilight Dream might have just saved almost all of the members of Darkwolf right there.
Yeah,
it might potentially be the very reason.
The clone of Diablo goes down, but meanwhile Cole and Groguns are very hurt. Their Malfurion is dead, no support for them. Meanwhile, the Stukov is on the side of Tass, though, and I do feel like that gives them the advantage. Still is me. Oh,
this Knight coming out from Veranov there on the Chromie.
Yeah, Kurt Dog setting up Turret City here, trying to just zone for himself. Abathur Hack going to try and get the kill onto Gaslow. Aeronise steps up onto the Tracer, that turret doing a ton of damage. Another Chromie shot could be the death of Aeronise, but Aeronise dodging those Chromie sandblasts as Cole tries to channel here. I mean, this is going to be another Chromie shot onto here. Uses the Q there. Hemo Santiago, though, finally back up and pushing up here. I don't think Cole's going to be able to get that, and Cole may suffer for it. Nope, Diablo's going to go ahead and walk away. The Pulse goes down, lands on the ground. Aeronise has to recall. He recalls into danger and goes down.
The Blessed Shield not connecting on a Cole there either means they're not going to get the kill there. But it looks like this team fight has been fairly well cleaned up in the favor of Tass, though. That being said, the Abathur comp, I mentioned this earlier, how the Abathur comp can easily get caught back up in soak here off of that tribute phase of those 5v5s post 10. It looks like that's what we're seeing here.
I do have to offer a criticism. I don't do this often, but Abathur not body soaking that entire fight.
That's very true. He did not move, but it seems like he still did get the value out of his hero in those locusts.
Oh yeah, I mean he's still pushing and stuff, but Abathur does not have a lot of experience, and I think during that whole team fight, because they were even on kills, with the Abathur body soaking that whole time, you'd expect to be ahead in experience at this point.
I think if he hadn't body soaked that bottom lane, they would have been ahead here.
Yeah, Groguns knows she's in trouble. Aeronise, though, using all of her blinks to get onto the Chromie, cast a recall away. The Chromie damage comes out, and Aeronise... I keep saying Aeronise, but I think it's Aaron, yes. Aeronise? I don't know. Here's the tribute. It's coming up. It's going to be Curse Point for Tass. Both teams on even talent here. Everybody's... no, actually, the cooldown thing is broken on here. Aeronise dodges that Chromie. But Thrall's going to be late to this tribute, though.
Abathur with that global presence, always going to be able to have that hat on someone, always going to be able to have that ability to...
Come on, scoot up, Abathur, scoot up. You can get into that bush. It's safe. All right, they're going to set up on here. Slowing sands being a huge problem here. As Thrall finally shows up, they're trying to find their way around this. They can't walk through this. They just... Oh, Groguns takes the full Dragon Eye from Chromie. The stun goes down onto the Tracer. Tracer has the recall. The APOC comes out, does find the bomb onto the Gazelle, but the Gazelle laser's too much help. The Twilight Dream, a huge amount of damage. Everyone's super low on that Tass, but the Chromie damage is too much. The Gravel Bomb pulls everybody in for a final kill, and that is going to be 4 for nothing.
4 kills.
And Curse Point here as 3 members come up. Fortunately, Diablo is here to soak and push out these lanes, but they're going to go ahead and start. Ooh, they're starting boss? Really? Okay. I mean, maybe they're going for the key.
Definitely a risky play. in terms of getting curse value or not.
Yeah.
But we do see an interesting synergy from Abathur here. If Abathur does decide to hat one of the minions and hit his E, he does actually give health back to those cursed minions.
Yeah.
So he can easily keep up a lane or maybe even two by himself.
Yeah, Aaron trying to find a Gazlo kill runs into some turret problems there. Just trying to get... Aaron in very big danger, has to recall away, and they're going to go ahead and walk onto the support. The boss picked up, but I can't help but think that they could have gotten more structure damage themselves.
That's very true. They definitely could have if they had decided to split and push into top and mid. That being said, that top wall is going down, and the keep in mid has been, or the fort in mid has been lost.
All right, their boss is not. They're not even pushing with it. Oh, they're gonna go ahead and start their top boss. Which I feel like you get a keep out of this if you push with this bottom boss. I mean, maybe you do go run the risk of fighting the same talent tier when you don't really need to, but I don't think this top boss is going to get a whole lot of value, and I think it just allows the Abathur comp of Darkwolf to get back into the game.
Absolutely. The level deficit here for Darkwolf not being significant enough to the point where the game is lost at all. So this boss, while it is going to get a fort in short order.
Darkwolf being very brave here, bringing 4 members here. They know that the 16 is up. They maybe trying to get a pick. Maybe they decide that now it's now or never for the fight here, but very dangerous situation. They do in fact back off. They're just trying to kite them as we go down here and get a lot of damage on the boss before it gets up too far.
That being said, they really did not get too much damage up onto the boss.
Yeah.
Aaron is going here in the back line, finding a pulse bomb onto Trevaro, but it doesn't really do all too much.
Yeah.
Stukov going to be able to heal himself all the way back up.
Yeah, level 16 Stukov not going to do a whole lot. Aaron's still trying to find the kill, harassing the back end. The Ring of Frost goes down, but Abathur is there. I guess Abathur didn't back out before getting the clone, and the wombo is real as every single member pushes her into a time trap, left with 9 health, and Tracer lives. What an insane play coming out there. Chromie puts a time trap in the most random spot, and Stukov happens to find it. But this keep is going to easily go over to the side of that Tass, though.
It looks like it. Hopefully the respawn timers here will be soon enough so they cannot end the game. And it looks like they're not going to try and end the game here on the side of that Tass, though. Yeah. But they have secured themselves a 2-level lead. Tracer dropping 80% of her health to 1 Chromie combo right there.
That's just disgusting. But yeah, they're fortunately they can easily give this tribute up. They're right next to 16. They did lose a keep. I feel like that keep was probably going to die anyway. So, you know, you do fall down a few kills and you give them a decent amount of XP. But this is a place where you can come back going into the next tribute. And hey, you've got these giants pushing pretty good down here, bot.
That 16 tier on Abathur being really strong as well.
Yeah. And that's going to help with the catapult. Yeah, it's going to help with this catapult pressure up here. It's going to keep them from having to clean up and play garbage man on this top lane here for too much. Tracer, just Aaron trying to find something on this Tracer.
Aaron's been having a really rough time here. It seems like those Chromie combos are just landing exactly where they should be, and it has been rather unfortunate for the side of Darkwolf.
Yeah, I do feel like, though, the Gazlo not really been impactful so far. I feel like any other, like, crazy, wacky push hero would have done the same thing. I think we've seen the same thing with, like, a Probius. Like, you could just replace that with a Kael'thas or something a little bit different. I think you get the same result. So, Gazlo not really providing anything special, but sure is fun. And I do like watching Kurt Dog play it.
To see a Gazlo here in itself is quite strange.
Ooh,
but it looks like he's going to get charged into the wall. He gets pulled outside of the Apocalypse, but the Ring of Frost does land onto quite a few members. But it's not them who falls. It's actually going to be an insta-kill onto the members of 4 of Darkwolf Memoriam there.
Alright, so Kurtdog just proved me exactly wrong. Diablo goes in for the stun onto Gazlo, not realizing that Gazlo has a talent at level 13 called Extra Large Bombs, which means being stunned or rooted causes an exploding charge to drop at Gazlo's feet. Bomb drops down as Diablo stuns the Gazlo, and it's a free wombo combo with the Gravel Bomb onto everybody, and they all get deleted.
and with him having like 3 mines just all over the place, that entire zone just gets blocked off, and you can't really go anywhere. And it looks like they're going to take another keep here for that.
Yeah.
On the side of that Tass, though.
Yeah, they're not going to try to end here, it looks like. They're just going to try and get the curse and maybe force onto here. But I don't know that this curse is going to do too much. I think they can defend bottom keep from this, and you really haven't gained much besides keeping your lanes pushed out. So I think they are just going to go for boss here. They're going to go ahead and get that curse and maybe have that boss pushing. They're going to start the boss right away here, and you have to imagine that Testo knows what's up. It's 20-17. They can't make it to the boss in time to stop it. They're going to rip this boss down real quick, and they just have to play defense here. And luckily, this boss is pushing onto a keep. However, it is going to have to go through a curse.
We are gonna see this curse picked up by Travara here right about now, but at the same time as the boss. And I think that Tass though has a very interesting call to make here. Either they could push with this boss and almost definitely guarantee take that bottom keep, or they could push against it and threaten core. And if they can force the members of Darkwolf off of the boss, that boss is gonna get that keep almost regardless. But Malfurion dropping half his health here at the beginning of this fight.
Ooh, the Blessed Shield comes out. Tracer is in there and recalls right to the same spot. Has to blink away, but the Ring of Frost goes down. But at the same time as the Gazlo Wombo combo, everybody grouped up for it. And the GGs are called, and Darkwolf is going to go down here 0-2.
To be the case, we're definitely seeing a very strong performance here out of the team in blue. That Tass, though, coming in very confidently, both in game 1 with that Diablo pickup and the Wombo combo, and in game 2 here with the Gazlo. Gazlo is going to see a win.
There he is. They're celebrating with his crazy Martian robot as we get out of the game here and into the draft screen here. We're going to show you some of the scores here. We're going to see if we can't get the captain, the Gazlo himself, Kurt Dog, into an interview.
Whoever thought the day would come when we see Gazlo?
Okay, well, we have already seen Gazlo in NGS, actually. I'm not sure.
This season?
Yeah, in a different division. However, we've also had Probius see 2 games with a 100% win rate.
The legends themselves, the turret builders.
Oh, I know. It's a real thing. Okay, we are going to get a interview here with Kurt Dog himself. I'm going to update the score here as Tass, though, does make it through. And we're going to see...
Hello?
Hello, Kurt, welcome. How you feeling after that win?
Pretty good, pretty good. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. You gave us quite a show there, both with the Gazlo and some phenomenal Diablo play in that first game.
Yeah, you know, it's just one of the things in our bag of tricks, and we've been working on it a little bit. We just like to play fun stuff, you know, and have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job practicing it. The Diablo, Malfurion, Tyrande trio there looked very well practiced. Is that the core of that composition, or do you need some of the other players there?
That's pretty much it, honestly. On BOV especially, we just kind of feel like Tyrande is an undervalued hero on that map, and she has really good just control, and obviously like the mark on the Immortal, it just helps with race and kill potential overall. So you stack that with it's a classic combo, you know, Diablo, Tyrande. So that's something that we also play, and yeah, it was a good night. Yeah,
I think Malfurion, Diablo, Tyrande goes all the way back to like Alpha. Have you been playing Heroes that long?
You know, I played it in Alpha, and then I used to play Dota, but Dota the original one, not Dota 2. Like the old school one. So I played a little bit in Alpha, and then I took a break from Heroes, and then started up probably like 2 years ago. So right after Alpha, right after it, I started playing again.
Nice. I did note actually that there was a very 2016 looking composition there, minus the Phoenix, of course.
You got it. Yep. Yeah, Phoenix is new. Please nerf more.
You guys did an excellent job there, and so I'm looking forward to you guys going back and watching the replay. We made a lot of calls based off of some. You just sort of manhandled them through that whole first game. Looking into the second game there, was Gazel the pick the whole time there?
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much insight.
Fair.
But, yeah.
Now, I do have a question. I mean, you proved me wrong there at the end. You got a couple of really strong wombo combos, especially off of proccing your extra large bombs there towards the end. But up to there, did you feel like Gazlo was really like a factor, or do you think he could have been replaced by a Probius, or even like another mage like a Kael'thas or something like that?
Well, it's funny you bring Probius up. That is something we'll see. You guys will all see in the near future is a Probius comp, but the Gazlo really against the Jaina is just kind of a placement there, because they just clear a wave. Like she W's a wave and I E a wave, and we just sit there and kind of like dance at each other.
Yeah, you won. I noticed you won the mana battle on that very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another thing. They actually brought like Mouth down a little bit too to I guess supply mana to her. So it's just about getting value, elsewhere. And then we had a good trade too. They got the tribute, but we had enough delays that I think I took bot 4, which worked out well for us.
Yeah, then that worked well. You're just sitting there doing Gazelle thing. I think that fight lasted like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it did, and that's like power of Chromie too. Is just especially on tribute or shrine type capping stuff. So you can just delay like Towers of Doom also. Just delays for days. So yep.
GreatHari, you got any questions for Kirk Dog?
I think you covered most of it. I do want to know on your opening game, the banning of Uther and Tyrael that you guys went through for first and second ban phase. I'm curious as to whether or not there was like something specific that warranted that, or was it just you wanted to remove those Divine Shield kind of effects, or? Divine
Shield? No, I was scared of Divine Storm, baby. That's OP. Yeah, Uther's I think it's another strong hero that is kind of overlooked. So we just didn't want to deal with that. So, yep, that's why we banned it out.
Okay. All right. Looking forward to the rest of the season. Are you feeling strong about your guys' position already? I mean, you guys did lose a game, but it was to the number 1 team in the division. Yeah, for sure. We're feeling pretty good. There's definitely just more to learn and work at. There always is. We just put this team together at the beginning of this season. So we're just trying to grow and get better and have fun, That's fantastic.
So,
you got any shout-outs for Twitch here?
Yeah, shout-outs to my team for sure. They all played. They carried me tonight for sure. So shout-outs to them. And shout-outs to you guys for taking the time to cast our game. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Time.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kurt Dog, and we wish you good luck in the rest of the season. Thanks for talking to us.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Okay. Oh, boy, what a exciting couple of games there. We had some very strong play coming out from Tass, though, and we had some really good, fun competition coming out from Darkwolf and Memoriam. I hope to see them later in the season. Hope maybe get a game for them to cast, and I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing more from Darkwolf Memoriam. GreatHari, do you have fun?
Absolutely. Watching those 2 games, like some of the comps that were put together here, definitely some great insight into both these teams and how they like to play, and really cool watching both of those games and how they end up panning out and some of the interactions between some of those weird things, especially with like the Chromie time traps. That was always entertaining to watch.
Oh, yeah. Okay. that is going to be it for us here tonight. You can check out Nexus Gaming Series at nexusgamingseries.com. We're an amateur league. Basically, we run a round-robin season, then we have tournaments, and then we do it all over again. This season, we've got 110 teams across 9 divisions, so if you enjoyed this, you can check it out. If you enjoyed this cast, I will be casting NGS all season long here at this channel. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can follow me at twitch.tv/ghostdunk. If you're on Twitch, let's go ahead and hit that follow button right now. GreatHari, where can people find you?
I'm also on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheGreatHari. So whenever I'm casting, I will be there.
Beautiful. Great to hear. Looking forward to the rest of tonight. I do have another game in 45 minutes. It's just Divine 9 versus Kentucky Murloc Chicken, which is Division B in the Nexus Gaming Series. So make sure you stick around. Until then, I will be throwing over to my next co-caster, Stixa, who will be joining me for that game. But he's casting a game right now, so I'm going to go ahead and have you join them. Stick around. I'm going to give you the outro here. GreatHari, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, once again, we've got Tass, though, going up 2-0 over Darkwolf Memoriam. I've been your caster, Ghost Dunk. With me has been GreatHari. Until next game, I will see you later.